Hello, this is just a quick whiz through because this is going to be very difficult to see. I have a very poor record of my tattooing because all my photographs were taken pre-digitally indoors and not very good, but I have got a small record of things. Anyway, this page here just shows some of my tattoo designs that got done for people. Another adder. Yeah, all of these were actually done either by, well, they're my designs, but not all of them were completed by me, but I did do some of them myself onto people that I knew. So that's some designs. Anyway, starting at the beginning here, before I was a tattooist, I used to paint leather jackets, which makes me cringe now because obviously leather is an anathema to me, being a vegan, and using the skin of my creature kin was as a canvas is abhorrent, but that's what I did way back in the day when I should have been concentrating on doing my teacher training degree. I preferred to do this, which was painting sort of medieval leather jackets. I don't know, everything came out looking slightly medieval mystic. This is a photograph through a plastic folder, so I think you get the gist anyway. So that sort of this was my jacket. This sort of started it all off because I had it put into a metal magazine, as in Kerrang, as in heavy metal, and then I got I just hit the right moment and I got loads of requests for people to paint their jackets, and I was calling myself Gypsy Moon, which then became the name of my band later on. But I just did all these jackets, and some were incredibly boring, like just band, focus please, they were just, you know, band, your typical band things, but then some looked like that, which is just kind of full, you'd call that a full sleeve now or something in a tattoo, but yeah, some of them were really rich and, sorry, please focus, yeah, incredibly rich and detailed. It took me ages. This was one that I did for Neil Murray, who was at the time the bass player for Black Sabbath. He got in touch with me to do his. There was two versions of this. The first one got put on a radiator and all the paint came off, which was really embarrassing, so I had to do another one. I think he ended up, here he is. Here is Mr. Neil Murray himself standing outside my flat in North London wearing, I think, the first, he wanted a Medusa jacket anyway, and that's one of them. I think that's the first one, and there he is wearing it, which was great publicity for me. And I think that was the first jacket I did for him, which was promoting their album at the time. So that went, then I sent that to the magazine and I got more commissions. And as the front of one of those very detailed jackets, another one. That was my kind of, I didn't know when to stop, just, you know, trying to please people by just going completely over the top. Sometimes they were nice and straightforward like that, but when I was allowed to go free, you know, free form, they got more than they should have really done. Some of them were just, you know, standard Metallica, Led Zeppelin. I don't know whether you can see that one. Anyway, they were kind of, you know, as Iron Maiden down there. This is what I was doing when I was meant to be doing my degree. Actually, for my degree show, I hung loads of jackets up and they just did not like it at all because it was not proper art. And it was, because, you know, as you can see, my jackets were, you know, they were art. It's just that they were snobby about it in college and I did not get a good mark. I think they wanted installations and things and not, you know, street art. There was, you know, tattooing and leather jackets and things like that then, you know, they were not looked upon well. It was just, you know, now it's nothing, but at the time when I was doing this, it was not looked upon, yeah, it wasn't art, darling, at all, even though it was, actually, but there you go. Right, just whiz through some of these. There's an ivy tattoo I did on somebody's back. My very first tattoo is there, but we're not going to be able to see it because the camera is going to shine straight on it. One of my favourite tattoos that I did on somebody's back there. Very detailed, ridiculously detailed. And that was his arm as well, with a Native American. There you go. Oh, when I look at these, it just brings back how nerve-wracking it was. It really was. That's a print of one of my tattoos. It's the wrong way round, isn't it? But, you know, hey, there you go. And that's an armband. Self-explanatory. Print is really blurry and awful because my printer was crap, so don't think it looks like all woolly, because it didn't. It was quite sharp when it was done, but unfortunately my print did not come out well. This is why I don't bother showing them, because the photographs are so awful. There's a wren tattoo that I did there for a nice druid. Hello, Adrian. Adrian was one of my fine canvases. There's the two pieces I did for him as well there. You can see them a bit better. These photographs are so terrible. I did that for him, but I haven't got a colour picture of it. I always like that one. It's a frailed fairy. Oh dear, they're really awful. Not really worth looking at them, is it? No, they just get... I mean, there's quite a lot in here that are just, you know, quite standard tattoo type fare. But they... oh dear, it's just terrible that they were all done with... well, they weren't. They were done in the studio with light, but the photographs just came out so badly. And by the time that I got them back from the printer, which is what you had to do back then, you know, it was too late because the person had gone. I couldn't say, "Can I have another picture, please?" because it was too late. That was a Crowley death from his tooth. People say that in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's from the Crowley deck anyway. Yes, my brave friend had that on her. There's the wren again. And dragon. You're not going to get a good impression of what I can do from here because the pictures are so blooming awful. Almost worth not showing you because it's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Don't think there's anything worth showing you there at all. No. Pirate, perhaps? Oh, there's Bob Dylan. I did like that one. Again, it's a terrible photo. Yeah, there's Bob Dylan. There's John Lennon there as well, but I wasn't so happy with that one. There's a Carly down there. Can't really see it because it's too... that was quite small, so it was very difficult to get all that in. There's a nice Celtic knot band thing, and another one. Very rare that any of these photographs came out worth looking at. It really is sad that I've got no record of anything. So let's move on. Before I did... let's think. Right, now this was after I realised that leather jacket painting was taboo because I didn't want to paint onto my creature kin skin. And this was before tattooing, so I was looking for things to paint on. So I just painted on anything. Anything. This is when I was living in the beautiful city of Bath, and they had something called Art in a Square, where you could just sit up, you could feel like a proper artist and just set up your blanket and sell your wares on a Sunday and talk to lovely people. It was a marvellous time of my life, and I just kept painting. There's another medieval looking tin there. Yes, I kept painting on anything that would stay still long enough, basically. Some of it was standard canal wear, and some of it was just my own designs. There's quite a bit of this left in this house. It did stand up, as long as you didn't treat it harshly, it did stand up okay, actually, in terms, because this is about 25-30 years ago now, so yeah, some of the things have stood the test of time, and the paint is still pristine, so that's good, isn't it? So I was selling these, and There was also a Green Park market in Bath, which I used to sell them at incredibly cheaply. I used to spend the whole week just sitting there painting things. It was in the days when you could actually go to a car boot fair and pick up things, really nice enamelware, beautiful enamelware, for pence. And then suddenly, I don't know what, it's almost like overnight or between one week and the next, they'd cottoned on to the fact that enamelware was quite covetable, and watering cans and so forth, and the prices shot up to collector's prices, and that sort of ended my days then, because it didn't pay unless I could get the item cheaply. It didn't pay for me to do it, because I was selling them, I can't remember the prices, but I was selling these things really cheaply based on the fact that I was getting the actual thing itself for a good price. Different type there. And I did actually paint some canal boats as well. It's just like Poppy paints anything that stays still. Back to the leather jackets again then. Besides the fact that they were on skin, which is horrifying to me now, you know, I'm very proud of these things because they didn't look like anybody else's at all. At the time, they were just, you know, one thing that you can say about my work is that it was original. It came just purely from me. I mean, obviously I had influences and things, but I wasn't, you know, wasn't ripping anybody off. Just let it out. I was very creative in those days. It just used to flow out everywhere, all over anything that would stay still. So yes, there's a little tour through my other painted accoutrements. I hope you enjoyed that. I think that's the end now. Oh look, who's on the back? He's a bit difficult to see, but he's one of the Green Men tattoo designs. And there's my lovely back piece that I did, which I'm proud of. Anyway, so there we go. Thank you for joining me for that. I enjoyed showing you those, even though the pictures are not good at all, but it gives you a bit of background about what I used to do, as well as illustration. Yeah, but I am sorry about, I am very sorry to all those creatures that I did on those jackets. I mean, not creatures that I did on the jackets, to the creatures that I painted on, even though they weren't in the skin anymore. Yeah, I wouldn't even sit on a chair made out of creature skin now, or anything else. So yeah, but there we go. We live and learn, and we do better, hopefully. Okay, lots of love. Thanks for joining me, if anybody has. Bye.